Hello, and welcome to the Collapse Experiment. Today I'm going to talk about an 8-part, little known miniseries that's on Netflix. It's Korean in English, by the way, called My Name is. No, it's actually just called My Name. And why it has that title beats me. I am now on the 8th episode, have not finished it yet. So why am I reviewing it? Because I've already watched 7.5 episodes. I have not seen the end yet, so no spoilers here. But I will say, this is probably one of the most creative stories, police stories, I have seen in a while. And it revolves around this girl. Now, when you start the series, you're going to say, how is this a police story? What is going on here? I don't understand. But I assure you that this series has a lot of twists and turns. It's actually really well written. And to give you some insight into this series, it starts out with this young girl who is, in American terms, high school age. She goes to a private school. Her dad has disappeared. There are rumors going around that he's a gangster. So the other kids in school are giving her a bunch of shit about it. She's living on her own. Her mom is dead, if you're wondering where she's at. And so she's trying to figure out what the hell's going on. She can't get a hold of her dad. The police are harassing her, watching the house. And yeah, so at the end of the first episode, spoiler alert, for those of you who are truly interested in watching it, he's killed almost right in front of her. She doesn't know who the assailant is, and she ends up becoming a member of the gang that he was in because she believes he was killed by a cop. So she goes on this quest for revenge. They train her. She goes through the police academy under an alias, becomes a narcotics detective, and in the meantime, you guessed it, she is working for the gang. There's a lot of twists and turns in this series. There's raids that happen that she is involved in. She helps certain gang members escape. Then there's more twists and turns in the story, and I don't want to ruin that, but so far, so good. This series has not disappointed me. There is one annoying factor. Apparently, this series, which is again Korean, but it's a Netflix series. They produced it. Apparently, they had the budget for it. I'm guessing it was a really low budget because they use one song, the same song, throughout the entire thing. Doesn't matter if it's an action scene, if it's a dramatic scene, this song ends up playing. And I can tell you, that's really the only downside to this. It's basically like a theme song. And I don't know. You get to the point where it's like, oh, something big is about to happen because here's that song again. But I will say the fight scenes are pretty darn good. A lot of shootouts, One thing that surprised me is that Korea is known for being technologically advanced, if you will, where the cell phones that they have now, we usually see them 5 to 10 years later. So they develop it, they perfect it, and then it eventually hits the US market. However, the firearms in this movie, why police are still using revolvers, I don't know. I'm not sure as to what kind of revolvers are used. They're not 38 specials because they're larger. I don't know if they're 45s or 357s. They don't look like 357s either. So I'm not sure. But the few times that these guns pop up, they'll say, oh, this is police issued. And I'm like, what police department still uses that? They're not using Glocks, seriously? But yeah, there's a lot of fight scenes between the gangs, which is hilarious because most of the time they're using knives. I do know that, at least in Japan, it's uncommon for the Yakuza to use firearms because discharging a firearm in Japan will get you life in prison. You don't even have to kill somebody. You just have to be in possession of one, shoot it, and your ass is going away for a long, you're not getting out of prison. You're not. That's how it works over there, which is very interesting. A lot of times, and this is just my knowledge on the Yakuza, if there is a shooting, the police already know, well, they definitely wanted this guy dead for them to be doing that. And usually the Yakuza hands over somebody who's of low rank, says, this is the person who shot the gun, when in reality it probably wasn't. And that's the one who takes the blame and goes to prison. Kind of reminds you of a different mafia in a different country. Like here, in a way. But anyways, so yeah, this girl, there's a lot of twists and turns in her story. She's constantly learning new things, new realities, trying to figure out who's on her side and who isn't. And a lot of times she's just flat out wrong with a lot of things. But again, the action scenes are pretty good. No complaints there. Some of the fight scenes with her, there's one scene in particular where the members of the gang, occasionally they have this all-out brawl in order to see who's the last person standing. And after a period of time, of course, you can guess as to who that is. And there's a lot of disturbing things that happen in it as well. There's some resentment among the guys in this gang that she's allowed to be in it as one of the henchmen. So of course, they try to drug her and take advantage of her, if you will. But, like I said, there's a lot of violence in this show. I do get the impression that some of the things that happen in this series are true to Korean culture, Korean crime, and yeah, I think overall this series is very well done. If you're familiar with movies or movie series, because Infernal Affairs, if you are familiar with that Korean series, this is a lot like it. Of course, there's the American version as well that came out later that took place in, I believe, Boston, dealing with a lot of the Boston crime families. But will this be adapted to the US? Probably not. But I think overall, this series is definitely worth checking out. In the last 2 days, it has kept my attention. Again, it's not boring. There's a lot of twists and turns. Constantly new revelations, things happening, and I got to give it to them. I feel like this is one of the better things that Netflix has done. Of course, if you're looking at what they've done in the U.S. with a lot of the stuff that they've put out, garbage. And so, should we really be surprised that the good things that are coming out on this platform, this streaming service, is stuff that's being released from other countries? Should we really be surprised? They don't have the woke agenda over there. I'm almost shocked that there isn't some upheaval about like, oh, it's all Asian people. Where's the Black Koreans? Where's the Arab Koreans? Huh? Like, there's no diversity. Everybody's Korean. It's pretty racist. But no, it's if you enjoyed any Asian crime cinema from the 80s, 90s, this is right up your alley. And I feel like it's not getting its due, that it has a lot of potential to create more feature-length series like this in the future. And I have a feeling that when it comes to it, this is where cinema is going. We can't look to the US for anything good coming out in the near future because I feel like we just don't know how to make good stuff anymore. I don't know about you, but it's been a long time since I've really seen anything good coming out of Hollywood. Everything seems to be boring. There's some type of message behind it, as a lot of people have pointed out. And quite frankly, I am just bored. I'm tired of the garbage that Hollywood is putting out. So when I see stuff coming out of Indonesia, Korea, Japan, and they haven't changed anything, it's still the good quality movies and series that you would expect. And I'm glad that Netflix is devoting time, money, and energy in order to do projects like this, and I hope they continue on that path. Unfortunately, none of that is really advertised here, so I'm hunting and pecking, if you will, and finding some of this stuff and letting you know about it. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, go and look up My Name. That's the name of it. Don't look up my name in particular. Just type in My Name into the search on Netflix and you'll find it. It's 8 episodes. Each one's about an hour long. So yeah, that's what you're in for. And I don't think you'll be disappointed. So go to Netflix, check it out, and hopefully it's something you will enjoy if you are into Asian crime cinema, or just Asian girls in school outfits, but that's only the first episode. So if that's your thing, then well, you can enjoy that, weirdo. So that's about it for me. Keep on typing.